This is what 500 bands looks like in sunny San Jose, California. Now, I know a lot of you are like, T, there's no way this costs $500,000. I can buy a mansion in Texas. And I would agree with you. However, this is not the case in California. Okay, I'll break down exactly how much my portion was and how much the pool, the deck, the plants, everything. Because the homeowner kind of contracted this himself because he was actually a really good dude. I enjoyed working with the homeowner so much. This was probably one of my favorite customers because he didn't complain about things. He understood change orders. He understood that things cost money, and he was very flexible. And sometimes the design didn't make sense, and then we changed things on the fly, and he was very accepting of that. And it was just the open lines of communication. He was just like a cool dude. He was in his like early 40s or late 30s. Awesome. Probably one of my favorite people to work with. And the project went amazing. Every single time we have a client that is very easy to work with and very like fluid communication and just easy going, the job goes perfect. Every time when we have a client that is annoying and picky and just a pain in the butt, there's always things that happen, mistakes happen. There's always complaints. So we figured this out a long time ago. On here, the boys having lunch. This project was designed by no other than Matt Daly from Water and Earth Design. You got to look him up on Instagram. This dude is really good at making designs. He is one of the best in my area. And I always say, in order for a job of this magnitude and this scale and so many moving parts, you need to have a drawing that is very accurate and done by a professional. A homeowner or myself could not have done this. Matt can do this, an architect, and someone that has these skill sets. But with, like, let's say I didn't have a drawing, I would have to be there with the homeowner, probably spending 3-4 hours a day, making sure that the job goes according to plan with measurements. And it's just a lot of time because the most expensive thing at this project is labor. I know some of you are like, there's no way, because in my area, I can pay someone $10 an hour and he can build me a whole fireplace. Well, not in California. A good mason will run you $35 to $40 an hour. And project manager, $40 an hour. A good dude that has skill sets, probably around $30 an hour. And then someone that's just a helper, $20 an hour. But the lowest people I have in my company is $20 an hour. And that's not a lot of them. Majority of them are above that and they have skills. Now I know a lot of you are wondering, T, how would you even go about getting a job like this? Because this is my January 3rd will be my 8th year in business. So I'm 7.5 years in and I was able to land a job of this size. How was I able to do that? Number one, it is all about your reputation, because I know a lot of people on YouTube, they clown on me and they say, oh, T does this, YouTube money, blah, blah, blah. But dude, in reality, like I am very, very meticulous and I pay very close attention to how the job goes, the job quality, the employees, and making sure that they don't mess around when it comes to hiring people that don't know what they're doing. Like the fastest way you can lose money is if you build this wall incorrectly. So I put Martin and his crew here, and him and his boys, they are very, very good at doing walls and masonry work and pavers and levels. You have to find people that are exceptional at what they do, and you have to make sure you do not let them go. Like I took a lot of these people from other businesses, obviously, because they had the skill set that I was looking for. And in order for me to grow and scale my business, I needed them. You can't do everything yourself. Like I don't know how to do what they do. I have no idea. But here's the kicker. A lot of people, they were like, well, the boss needs to know how to do work. He needs to show up and work with the guys to improve morale. And that is farthest from the truth. They don't need morale from me. They know what they're doing. Okay. They need me to run the business and they need me to go get the jobs, because if there's no jobs and there's high morale, guess what? You're broke. Employees will leave you and they'll go to someone like me. Now, how was I able to close this deal? Number one, relationships. They are everything. If you, obviously the reputation is important, but if you have a very good reputation, you stand behind your work, your relationships are going to save you when times get tough. And many instances I've had where I ran into a little roadblock where I'm like, oh no, I don't have a job for like 2 weeks because the customer's not ready or the pool's not ready. What do I do? You reach out to your power circle and boom, you have a deal. Now, I met the designer about 6 years ago, and he saw me on Yelp first, and he reached out to me and he's like, dude, how do you have so many reviews? And I just told him, I'm like, this is what I do. I ask customers for reviews afterwards, even though Yelp tells you don't ask for people reviews. If you don't ask, how are you going to get? If you don't ask, you don't get. Remember, the squeaky wheel always gets the grease. And I was able to get a very good relationship with him, and he threw me a couple of jobs, and we did a couple of jobs together. And he was like, you actually do good work. I was like, I know. And now we built a relationship with him and his business where now he gives me a lot of work, and a lot of jobs are coming from him actually. And it goes the same with every single person that you meet. In California, a pool like this will cost you around $140,000, $150,000, depending on the finishes you do. The landscaping in my part of the woods cost around $200,000. So you're already at $350,000. The plants were very expensive because he chose very mature plants, and that was probably around $50,000, $60,000 in plants. The bocce ball court, the deck guy with the pergola, that was probably $80,000 to $100,000. These stairs right here, these stairs alone were $20,000, and they are one of the most beautiful stairs that we've ever done because it is the centerpiece. We'll show you a picture afterwards. Oh, actually, can we throw a picture right now?
The picture's in the thumbnail.
Oh, okay, so you'll see this. It is ridiculous. The centerpiece of the entire project is these stairs. So that was a super good design, and the execution was fantastic. Now, the best way I've learned is you have to have smaller crews. I know a lot of you have been watching my videos for years, and you're like, T, you've had 10 people at your job sites. How do you change your mind about smaller crews? Because for something like this, you need to have less people because there's so many moving parts, and sometimes things aren't ready. Like, example, we had 4 guys doing the retaining wall, and the decking guys were there at the same time. Now, it'd be very difficult to have a 8 to 10 man crew here because everyone would be stepping all over each other, and you don't want that because like I told you, the most important thing about landscaping jobs is labor. Labor is the most costly. So if you keep an eye on labor, you will be profitable. You'll be successful. Now, in order to be very efficient at a job like this, you need the correct management. Like me personally, I was at this job site every single day because I knew that if they mess something up, it's going to push us back a day. And a lot of times it falls on the owner and the project manager, because as soon as you start your business and you're like, dude, I'm a business owner, I'm a big boss, I don't need to be at the job every day. I can be at home working or chilling and watching Netflix and movies and drinking beers, and I'll be making money. That is farthest from the truth. The more you're chilling at home and drinking beer and pretending to be the big boss because you're sitting on the couch making money, in quotes, the more you will lose money. Because I found out if I just visit the site on a daily basis for 5-10 minutes a day, nothing crazy. You don't have to spend 6 hours there. But I'm telling you, in the beginning, you do. In the beginning, when you start your company, year 1, year 2, year 3, I would highly recommend spending at least 4 hours a day on the job site, because you will be shocked at how many mistakes your employees make because they're not well trained. The guys that have been with me, my crew leaders, have been with me for 5 years, 6 years. They know exactly how we operate, in what order to operate, and they understand. And maybe you're like, T, I'm not that guy chilling at home drinking beers while my guys are working. I'm actually on site with them. Okay, that's fine. In order to improve efficiency, you need to have the right tools. Like, how many wheelbarrows do you have? This might come as a shock to you. You'd be like, why? What are you talking about wheelbarrows? Bro, I have been to so many job sites where there's 4 guys and there's 1 wheelbarrow. There should be an excess wheelbarrow. Like, per man, there should be 1 wheelbarrow. And equipment, ditch witch, Caterpillar, excavators, dump trailers. Like, when they're putting their garbage from the site that they're making and they put it in the front yard, and you see, like, sometimes I drive by job sites and you see this massive pile of garbage in the driveway. That is stupid. You're wasting so much time. What I do is have a trailer chilling outside the home, and every single little piece of garbage that gets created goes directly into the trailer. So there's no cleanup. Why would you move garbage from the pile that you have in the backyard to the front yard and then you have to load it again? You're moving garbage 3 times. What we do is move it once, goes in the trailer, done. Sometimes the most important things you learn is what not to do. And that's exactly what I show in Go King. I've learned things to do and what not to do. The most incredible job, my favorite job. I would personally love to live at this house. Absolutely fantastic. Amazing spec. Beautiful design. Shout out to Matt Daly. And Luis built the pool at Big Problem Pools. Just kidding. No Problem Pools. I'm going to take you around back and we're going to show you this place. It's absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. Massive tree. This is a oak tree. Huge, crazy, beautiful. We definitely wanted to leave this here because it's so pretty. It has so many weird looking branches with the right uplights at night. Amazing. Pickleball court. We installed a concrete pad and then epoxy people, pickleball court people, tennis court people, they came in and they applied all this and painted everything. Installed the nets. So that turned out very nice. The pavers are Teco block. This is Blue 60 Teco block. Probably one of my favorite pavers of all time. Originally, this was going to be real grass, but we convinced the homeowner. We said real grass will be a nightmare, and we convinced him to do artificial because there's no maintenance. You're done. And he was concerned about having the turf be too hot in the summertime. So there's a solution. On both corners, we put sprinklers. If it is ever too hot, they can turn on a sprinkler for 5 minutes. The grass will cool down. The kids can play. Everything is very nice. Concrete steps. Beautiful concrete steps. We had a grade elevation change. So up top was very high. Here was low. We could have done them in pavers. However, we decided to do concrete because it just ties it in better and it's very modern looking. This is why it's cool. We had a concrete planter and concrete stairs and they all tie in together. So regardless of what we did with pavers, we still would have had to form it with concrete. And I think this is way cleaner. It's a much cleaner look. Finishes everything really nicely. And this is thermery, this deck. Beautiful, very expensive material, but it looks awesome. Artificial turf here. This is the very first time we've done artificial turf by a pool deck. Instead of having pavers here or stone by the pool deck, we did artificial turf, and I didn't really know how it was going to turn out, but I'm not going to lie, pretty good. We built this wall. These are English laurels. These are for privacy. A deck by the pool. I was uncertain about this. However, it turned out fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Lollipop laurels. Very nice. The cool thing about laurels is they never lose their leaves. These are evergreen, year-round. They will always look like this, and all they do is get bigger and bigger and bigger. What do you think? Is this one of your favorite jobs that we've done? I know. This place is nuts. A lot of you ask, when are you going to get a house, T? I want a house like this. I don't want to live in some dump. You know what I mean? If I don't feel good in it, I don't want it. I would love it here. This would be a great place to live. Pretty soon, boys. Pretty soon. But you might be asking, what's the price tag on this? Just for the backyard, if you want something like this, you gotta drop $500,000 for this backyard. If you wanna throw it down, you gotta throw it down. $500,000. Here you go.